Today I am going to show you how I installed the 2F Performance LFC panels, lightweight fiberglass corners. These are built to match the existing body line, so it will continue the factory lines of the car and not have any extra flaring, which is what 2F normally does to their corners. So by doing it this way, the production is cheaper, so the cost of these are cheaper. This makes it a very affordable solution to be able to drive these large cars confidently. So if you run the risk of putting this into a wall, like I did, you have an affordable option to be able to replace the damaged metal. I am going to show you how I installed these, and I will also have a link down below for you to be able to order them yourself. Let's do it. Alright, so we got it taped off. Got all the parts that we needed taken off. Took some time to cut out the tub, and so we're gonna get started. These are just sitting in there right now, but it's looking pretty good. Okay, once all the metal is cut out, this is pretty much what it will look like. You're looking at about a couple of inches space. That is what I was instructed to tape off. And pretty much from this crease all the way to the end here is about 34 inches. Pulled out all the junk that was in there, made these cuts clean here. Cut up as much as I can around the frame rail, cut out the tub, pulled out any junk in there, rerouted the filler neck since I eliminated my gas door. And then once all that was cut out, you can see on the other side, same thing. What we added was the support bars. So you kind of have to like just size it up as you install, so you know exactly where to cut, and then be able to put this together. And then we have our trunk release. As designing, if you want to keep the factory trunk release, that's something you'll have to add or fabricate a way of installing where the factory lock is, if you're even using that. But you should be using trunk pins if you're cutting your car like this. This bar was added to give some structural support. Center brace for in between the two pieces, which is going to be improved later on. Kind of got tweaked a little bit, but I wanted to retain this so I could still be able to use like some kind of bumper support. I don't have all the mounts that would normally be with a LFC install. I have just enough to be able to hold everything together. So there is more that should be on this. It's just hasn't. We haven't got to that point yet. Right now it's good enough to get out there and start sliding, but more improvements will be made as we move along and continue more fab work. Now the next part is installing the rib nuts. So I have these. They are 5mm rib nuts, and then get the Allen heads. This is the style that I used. Get a washer with it, and then they just screw right in. You're good to go. You don't have to get them super tight. They're not. You can strip this out. Like, this is a trick, drilling the hole out to install these, and you need to use this tool, which I got at Harbor Freight, to install them. And but you just be careful the first time through. It's better to start with a hole that's a little too small and try to just gradually work your way up, because if you screw it up, if this thing starts spinning in place, you're going to be really pissed off. This is the placement of all of them. You can pretty much eyeball this when you do it yourself, just the general area, if you want to match exactly what I have. Otherwise, you know, whatever you feel will give the best structural integrity for the install you're working on. I think what we did was we actually held the LFC up to this. That's right, we held the LFC up to it. Got some help, you know, supporting, so you might need to get a buddy to kind of help keep it secure, and then just drilled through all the holes together, so through the fiberglass into the metal. That way all the holes are the same. I think I used some tape as well to kind of help give it some extra security, so it didn't move while I was drilling all the holes I needed, which isn't very many, so this should be quick and easy. So yeah, now I'm gonna put this thing back on. One quick tip is getting the trunk lid spacing right, and pretty much you just try to, when you get your mount set up here, use the, again, have a friend help you out, just kind of set the spacing right, and then when you do and you lift up out of the way, you know, mark your holes and you should be good. So yeah, it definitely helps to have a friend. Okay, so now that they're bolted in place, the next part is getting your bumper on and the tail lights on. Now, what's great about these molds is they make it pretty easy to be able to identify where exactly to make your holes at for mounting the bumper and the lights. So yeah, just, you know, track those down and make your holes as needed so the bumper can squeeze in. You can see all the holes I made. Okay, so for the tail lights, just run the harness through the hole and then plug it in on the other side. Now, what I use for the mounting point, I just used one screw in here, and these have these like studs that would like kind of pressure fit in. And it worked great at first, but I think I'm going to need to replace these with some kind of bolt eventually, or because I think I'm wearing the holes out there. I should have known fiberglass isn't going to hold up to being popped in and out like that, especially getting a wall tap. So I'm going to put this tail light in. Okay, so the tail light's in. It's a little loose on this because it got hit recently, and so the little studs holes loose, so I'm gonna get that fixed eventually. But everything is in place, everything is mounted. It's the tail light bolt, this bumper bolt, hoop bolts. Everything's back together in one piece. All the lights are working. Panels are on straight, looking pretty good. Looking nice over here too. And we're done. Now I know taking on a task like this can seem a little intimidating, especially if you're not used to working on cars a lot, or you have a bit of an issue going outside of your comfort zone. I assure you this is something you guys can definitely do. It is not that difficult, and I believe that you have friends most likely in your area who could contribute some kind of knowledge, or at least making sure you get the right tools, you know, like a sawzall or a cutting wheel, and using the proper safety equipment necessary to ensure that you do not get hurt while trying to put this on, so you can just have a good time and go drifting with all your friends. I hope this video was helpful to you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all soon.